Assalamualaikum and Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today we want to present about the differences between Android and iOS. So first of all, the introduction. Google's Android and Apple's iOS are operating systems used primarily in mobile technology, such as smartphones and tablets. Android, which is Linux based and partly open source, is more PC-like than iOS in that its interface and basic features are generally more customizable from top to bottom. However, iOS uniform design elements are sometimes seen as being more user-friendly. Android is mobile operating system based on a modified version of the Linux kernel and other open source software, designed primarily for touchscreen mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets. Android is developed by a consortium of developers known as the Open Handset Alliance and commercially sponsored by Google. Android is now the world's most commonly used smartphone platform and is used by many different phone manufacturers. iOS is only used on Apple devices such as the iPhone. iOS is a mobile operating system created and developed by Apple. It is the world's second most widely installed mobile operating system. After Android, major versions of iOS are released annually. The current stable version, iOS 15, was released to the public on September 2021. So we started to see the difference between these two, which is the Android and the iOS.
Hello, my name is Mohammad Faris bin Hairulizam, and I will present about the difference between Android and iOS in terms of reliability and security. First, I will present about Android in terms of reliability and security. In terms of reliability, Android has a vast choice of apps user can choose from because they were using Google Play Store, and in Google Play Store it has many topics and genre of apps that user can choose from. This is different for iOS because iOS is using their own app store, so they don't have many apps that they can choose from. Secondly, Android support third-party apps where user can download apps from different websites. For example, if user want to download an apps that is not on the Google Play Store, they can then download the apps from Google or from Internet Explorer. And this is different for iOS because iOS don't support third-party apps and they don't allow user to download from website, just their own app store only. In terms of security, Android has an open source code, so it was not very secure for Android user because Android can easily be hacked by hackers. Secondly, Android developer can scrutinize the code to track and report any vulnerabilities. Next, we will go to iOS. In terms of reliability, iOS has its own app store while Android has Google Play Store. Secondly, iOS has better picture quality than Android. So anyone who likes to take a selfie or take a video, iOS is a better choice than Android. In terms of security, iOS has a closed source code, so it was very secure and it will be very hard for any hacker to hack iOS device. Secondly, iOS hardware and software is made by the same company, which is the Apple company. And that's all for my part, and I will pass the presentation to the next presenter.
Thank you. Next, I would like to share with you guys about ease of design and implementation for Boost Entity today. Material design guides the design rule for Android devices, while human interface guidelines guide design rule for Apple products. Both of these design schemes have their roots in a flat design, but each has developed its own set of principles underlying how the application looks and feels. For Android design or implementation, compared to iOS, it is based on observation of the actual world and research into paper as layers that creates the structures of the entire system. It is developed an intuitive user interface for the application by using realistic shadow, light, motion, and layer device. Motion and color in particular play a crucial role in attracting user attention and animating a static interface. Android provides a considerably less constrained environment than iOS. In terms of distribution, this app will work on almost any Android smartphone, and you should have no problem with hardware compatibility Android developments. Approach is also more acceptable by relying on Java. This platform also allows for a more fluid development experience. Next, for iOS part, I would like to highlight iOS is built on the three fundamental principles as stated in the slide. The most significant aspect of the application is it is contained, which may be obtained by effectively utilizing white space, typefaces, and color. While navigating the application, the design should convey a sense of depth and the presence of layers that compromise the application hierarchy. In terms of the advantages and cons of iOS app development, this argument may fall into either category. On the one hand, having a smartphone that runs such an isolated OS is a problematic for user, as a file transfer from one device to another may be challenging. Working with this family of operating system, on the other hand, allow the developers to build for an entire ecosystem of devices rather than just a certain phone. Apple provides specific recommendations to developers for creating a user experience for their apps. While this technique may be restrictive for some, if often ensure an amazing user experience. Next, I would love to pass to another presenter.
Thank you. Next, I will presenting about flexibility and efficiency differences. Flexibility. Flexibility is one of the characteristics that shows whether the program is simple to modify. Software with flexibility may quickly adjust to user needs or environmental changes as they queue. As a comparison of flexibility between Android and iOS, there is a fairly significant comparison. For example, for Android, any software may be downloaded as used on practically any Android smartphones, which is they offer open source system. This makes the Android development methodology more flexible. Android is well regarded for being a pretty straightforward operating system, but it is also quite versatile and adaptable. giving users a lot of flexibility over how everything is formed. Compared to iOS, across all of its iterations keep a high level of consistency and also can run faster and stable. iOS does not have the advantage of downloading as many software applications as Android. iOS also does not have the freedom like Android because they have strict guidelines by Apple. Next, we move to efficiency. Fuel efficiency is affected by the process of manufacture. As we can see, there are some key distinctions between iOS and Android. To make a phone efficiency last for a long period, user efficiency is also important. But in this situation, efficiency differences between Android and iOS are very huge while not depending on user. For example, not all Android can launch software or applications smoothly and faster. On average, for battery management also does not last longer than iOS. Moreover, Android optimization vary from a manufacturer to other manufacturer that may cause differences of efficiency that Android provides. Compared to iPhone nearly always have faster processor and greater performance. Even iPhones from 2 years ago outperformed the most recent Android handset in terms of sheer performance. Other than that, because of the tighter integration provided by Apple closest ecosystem, iPhone don't require very strong specification to compete with top-tier Android devices. Everything depends on how hardware and software are optimized. Apple can ensure that resources are used more efficiently since it oversees the whole production process. Thank you. Next, I will pass to next presenter to tell about advantage and disadvantages.
Advantages and disadvantages of Android. So for the advantages, firstly, it has the expandable memory. It support external memory expansion by adding memory card to the phone. Second, customizable user interface. Google's been working hard to make Android user interface as flexible and customizable as possible. In doing so, Google's loaded Android with a host of customizable widgets. These can be used anywhere in user interface, and they offer updates or shortcuts to a variety of services such as email, calendar, and messages. Then the open source. The Android operating system allows the developers and hardware manufacturers to make a change to the operating system's core software. This allows the company to make changes in the OS to work in very specific industry. And then let's move on to the disadvantages. First, apps continue to run in the background. Devices running on all the Android versions still have apps running in the background that can also come to the foreground automatically. New version of Android, of course, does not let the apps come to the foreground, but if the apps continue to run, it naturally consumes battery power. Then we have the runs slow on low specification devices. Android operating system is huge and occupies a lot of space. This is the reason that phones with low hardware specification run slow on the OS. Moreover, it comes with several default apps that further slow down the smartphone's operation. This leaves no scope of downloading external apps and also leading to heating issues of the devices. Then we go to the iOS. So for the advantages of iOS, firstly, simple interface. iOS device feel very easy and compatible to use. The iPhone ensures that all application and features work the way they were intended by Apple, allowing a very user experience. Users also consider this to be one of the best features of the iPhone. Then we have the security of the iOS. iOS appliances are considered more stable and safe. In this operating system, there are barely any instances of security breaches, since the iPhone forbids the use of website or application from third parties to download other apps. There have the less risk of viruses invading your device. Then the iOS supports multi-language and smooth multitasking. You have the option of selecting any language on your device. For your device, there is plenty features that can 20 features and language support on the iPhone. So then we have the advantages of in iOS. Firstly, the storage. iOS can extend the device's memory. You've got to deal with the memory you got when you buy your cell phone. There's limited in iOS. Then we have the no customization. There is no customization in iOS. Changing your wallpaper is the best thing you can really do. Then the highly cost. iOS gadgets are very expensive, and a large hole in your wallet can be made by their purchase. This is why it's not so widespread in the economical poorer sector of society. So in the conclusion, both the Android OS and the iOS have their own pluses and minuses. Both are equally strong contenders and are bound to rule the app marketplace with their own strengths and positives in the OS. There is very little between the two, although the open source nature of Android offers the opportunity for a more diverse range of apps, if not more in actual number. With the iPhone OS, you are restricted to apps and other software that Apple approves, while Android is open to anyone that wants to use the operating system to design an application. That's all. Thank you. That's all for us.